Okay, so I'm going to be doing this complementary colors worksheet. I have everything I need, my name on my worksheet. I have my brushes, my glass of water, paper towels, my paint, and then a magazine to mix my colors on. So, without further ado, let's get into it. On my palette, I have the primary colors white and black, and that's all I'm going to need to make all of the colors that I'm about to make. So to begin, I am trying to get red and green, which are complementary colors, and then as we mix them together, it should form a brown in the middle. So I'm going to start with red, because I don't have to mix anything. I'm just going to grab a little bit of red on my brush. I'm going to fill in my box. I'm going to use nice craftsmanship, and I'm actually going to get a bigger brush. One moment. Okay, sorry, I'm back. Okay, there's my red, and now I need to make green. So I'm going to rinse off my brush. I don't want to get my palette dirty. Then I'm going to dry my brush, because acrylic paint is not supposed to have water in it. So I'm washing and drying my brush very thoroughly. And then on my magazine sheet, I'm not going to mix colors on my big palette. This is just for grabbing paint. I'm going to grab a little bit of blue. I'm just going to grab myself a chunk. And then I need to wash my brush again so I don't dirty my palette. Give it a real nice clean. I'm seeing a bunch of blue on my paper towel, so I know it's not clean. There we go. Alright, and then I'm going to grab some yellow, put this over here to the side, so then I don't have to wash my brush as much anymore. And now I can make my green. I want to make enough green to mix, all of this. So I'm going to make a decent amount of green over here. Grab this chunk of yellow. And then a little bit of blue. You always need less blue than yellow to make green, because blue is a really dark color and yellow is a really light color. But looks like I've got a pretty good green. So now I'm going to fill in this box with my green. Okay. Alright, and now I'm going to start mixing some red into my green. I'm going to start on this one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a little chunk of this green that I just made, and then I'm going to rinse my brush, rinse, clean my brush off. I'm going to grab some red paint. I'm just going to put it on my palette. There we go. That way I don't have to worry about rinsing my brush as often. Then I'm just going to grab a tiny bit of red, because this is going to change the color pretty quickly, because the red is a really dark color. So I'm just going to grab, I'm even going to grab a little bit more green in here. I want this to be greenish red, not quite brown yet. So then I will put this in here, and you can see it's starting to get muddy. That's the goal. Okay, and now I want pretty much a brown, so I'm going to grab just a little bit more red. That's a lot. Just a little bit more red, and then mix that into my green. I should get pretty good brown. That's a little bit red, so I'm going to add a little bit more green into it. I've got a really nice brown for the middle. Alright, and then my last box is going to be this red combined with a little bit of green. So I'm going to clean my brush off. And then I'm going to start with red over here on my palette. That's a lot, just a little bit. And then I'm going to add this green into my red. So it's more of a reddish green. Go. Put that guy on there. Alright, and then we can see that as my complementary colors begin to mix together, they get just a little bit duller until they form that brown. Okay, oops. Rinse my brush to begin my next complementary colors, which is going to be yellow and purple. So rinse, rinse, rinse. Okay, I'm going to paint my yellow box. Just plain yellow. Oops. Okay, now I'm going to rinse my brush and make some purple. So I need red. That's a lot. Get myself a good amount of purple so that I don't have to remake it. Red and blue. For purple, you want about 50% red, 50% blue in order to make a nice purple. Mine's a little bit too blue. So I'll add some more red. Still kind of blue. Alright, there you go. Now I've got a nice purple. I can paint that in. Alright, and now I'm going to start getting towards brown, so I'm going to take out a little chunk of purple. Don't need a lot. Give my brush a little wipe. And now I'm going to grab some yellow. I'm going to mix that with my purple to get a little bit of a muddy purple, kind of a wine color. And then I can mix even a little bit more yellow into this purple so I can get my brown color. Okay, looks good. Okay, and then I'm just going to give my brush a little rinse. And now I'm going to take some yellow. I'm going to add just a little bit of purple to it, so I can get this guy on the other side. It's not a very beautiful color, but that's the goal. Okay. Alright, and now for my last ones, I'm going to do blue and orange. So again, get my brush rinsed, dried. I'm going to grab some blue. I'm going to fill in this guy. Okay, now I need to make orange, so I'm going to rinse my brush, and then I can grab some of this yellow, and then just a little bit of red. Red is a lot darker than yellow, so you don't need as much to get to orange. Here's my nice orange. Okay, and now I'm going to mix a little bit of blue into my orange, so I'm going to grab a little scoop over here, set it right there, and then just add a tiny bit of blue to it. Nothing crazy, it's going to change the color pretty fast. Alright, and now I'm going to mix just a little bit more blue in the middle to get that brown color. Which mine is a little bit more on the green side, but it's alright. Right, and then I'm going to give my brush a rinse. And then I'm going to take some blue. I'm just going to add a little bit of orange to it. I'm running out of paint here. Don't be like me. Make enough orange. There we go. Okay, so my middle color is a little bit more on the green side than the brownish, but if I had a little bit more orange, I could have fixed that. But as you see, we got brown in 3 different ways, and depending on the kind of brown you want is the different amount of complementary colors that you can add. So, beautiful